Good evening, English Language Arts 1 composition. This is Mr. Kwiatkowski coming to you for your first assignment for the week of April 20th. All right. So last week I asked you guys to look at paragraphs. All right. And this week we're going to be looking at thesis statements. All right. So there is a connection here. And part of the idea is that a paragraph asks you to make a topic sentence, create some arguments, support your topic sentence, whatever you're trying to prove. Thesis statement is kind of similar to your topic sentence. So what I want to do is I want to go through this assignment with you, break it down, explain it in a bit more detail, and then talk you through how the assignment and the example works. So you can follow along with me. I will be pulling up a whiteboard if we need it. I don't think we will because I do think I have a lot of detail in here for you guys. The previous assignment asked you to think about paragraphs and what goes into them. This assignment builds off of the topic sentence and develops it into a thesis. A thesis is the central argument or point of any given piece of text. In literature, it is often called a theme. Either way, the goal of the text is to convey and often prove the thesis through the use of evidence. A thesis is about one sentence long, should be direct and clear, take a side of an argument, or present an opinion, and should complete the statement, what I want to say about the topic is. So, example, what I mean by that. What I want to say about the topic is, unless, and then here's the thesis, unless language barriers between patients and healthcare providers are overcome, the lives of many patients in our more culturally diverse cities will be in danger. So, for an essay, article, newspaper thing, or whatever, that would be the thesis. That'd be what it's trying to prove. When you create a thesis, you should be able to answer these three questions. Does my thesis statement take a clear stance? Is my thesis too general or too specific? How could others perceive my thesis? In the end, you are the only one who gets to decide what an essay should be about when you write it. Make sure your thesis is strong. Once determine what you want to say, then it'll come down to figure out what support you need. We'll get to that. All right. So the assignment. All right. Let me actually do it this way. Kind of a bit thin at the moment just because I'm working through adjusting some stuff, but give me a second. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide through the example. This is still in task X.2. I'm just going to do it here as well. So black 2036. So I will be saving this whiteboard as well and upload it for you guys. That way it can help you out too. 24. All right. So the first thing about any thesis that we get is like you always start with the general subject to specific topic. Okay. And by that, what I mean is that you often get like this big question you're supposed to answer. And there's a lot of different ways that you can go with whatever answer you give. Well, that's what the general subject is, okay? So the idea here is that we have a general subject, broad and big idea to cover and explain. The thing is with the general subject, it's often too big, too broad. So much we have to cover that it's kind of hard to get into. That's why we want to get to a specific. Okay. A more detailed and, for lack of a better phrase, specific idea to cover and explain. So what do I mean by that? Well, here's the example we're going to look at. Okay. Gun violence. All right. This is a general subject. It's massive. A lot of things you can do. A lot of different ways you can talk about who experiences it, how it causes it, things like that. And part of the issue is like, where can you go with it? Well, that's where we start asking these questions. Like, what do you want to focus on in terms of gun violence? Okay. If we were to pare it on down, there's a lot of different ways we can go from that. So simple questions: who, what, where, when. Actually, we're going to save those for the next part, which is where we can get more specific about this, kind of the support or the ideas that go with it, what we want to say about it. So gun violence is too big. So why don't we pare that down and say gun violence in Chicago? Another example. All right. One of my personal favorites. There we go. Okay, here's the general subject. Now, what do we mean by cheating? There's a lot of different ways we do it. Do we mean cheating in sports? Do we mean cheating in relationships? Do we mean cheating in school? What do we mean by it? So if you were to write something about cheating, kind of hard to do. So that's where we get focused more down. What we do cheating in sports to win wagers. Okay. So you did examples about how big subject, big broad idea, not going to be helpful, but if you get a more specific topic, and we can go even more specific if we want to say gun violence in Chicago, gun violence in Chicago, and okay, or for the cheating one, again, be cheating in sports, to cheating to sports to win wagers. Go even more specific, cheating in sports to win wagers. And the harm it does. All right. So start big, get small. Next part. 2. Okay. This is where once you identify the topic, okay, what are you going to say about it? What do you want to talk about it? So you want to identify what sides, opinions. Are you going to talk about it? So using our example, gun violence. Okay. And the way we do this, we can ask questions. What, where, when, why. These are just there to help you figure out what you want to talk about. So Chicago is our first example. We can ask what are the causes of it and how. Clearly causes of it. How can they be addressed? Who's most hurt by it? What is currently being done about it? All right. Cheating. Okay. Who is cheating? What does it look like? Why does it matter if people cheat or not? Sorry. All right. So these questions kind of help you bring down a bit more about what's going on to it. Now the final bit is we have our topic, We have some questions to help guide what we want to say about it, what we want to think about it. Now we can answer the statement. What I want to say about the topic is, all right. So if I had to take this first one, what I want to say about the topic, I'll put this in parentheses, gun violence in Chicago is ... Gun violence affects the youth of Chicago more than any other demographic group in the city. Okay, that's my argument. That's what I'm going to try to prove with this. Example 2. What I want to say about the topic sports is, again, because it's one of my favorites, I'm going to go a bit out there. Anyone who cheats at sports in order to is a horrible person and deserves anyone who cheats at sports in order to win is deserves to be put into jail. Apologize about that one. I feel it's a bit weak, but I'm kind of coming it up on the spot. All right. So those are the examples of the thesis statement. I'm going to save this for you guys. Okay. Save. All right. And then I'm going to upload it in terms of the document so you guys get this as well in terms of the video. So back to the assignment. Share. Make this big again. 50. All right. So your task, do something similar. First thing, here's your general subjects. Identify which one you want to do. Select it. What are you going to focus on in terms of that? Kind of done this already, if some of you remember. Then questions about the topic, help narrow yourself down. Ask some questions about it. What do you want to focus on? Thesis, what I want to say about the topic is. Using your questions and your topic, what do you want to talk about? That's it. Fairly straightforward. Again, this is kind of review, rehashing, because I do want us to get back to the DBQs. I want you guys to be doing that or do it the best way we can. We got this. So the next assignment we talk about is going to focus on kind of how we use thesis and topic sentences to help answer questions or how they answer questions in general. All right. So everyone take care. This is going to be posted up tonight. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you.